Shortly after I went off to seminary, Sister Bernadette, who had taught me in reception class, sent me a letter in which she said, "You have found the pearl of great price. You have discovered the buried treasure." She wrote me at least once a year thereafter, until she died. Her letters contained snippets of information about what was going on in her life, interspersed with lines of fond remembrance of times past. But every one of them quoted the lines from the Gospel that we have just heard. Looking back, I can see that she was impressing upon me, she who had known me since I was 4.5, just how fortunate I was that the Holy Spirit had granted me an insight into the beauty of discipleship and had given me the courage to make a radical life commitment for Jesus. For me, this meant becoming a priest. And she was concerned, given her long knowledge of me, that I might let slip that which I had been given, because she knew with the wisdom of an experienced religious sister, that life can become complicated. As the years of my formation continued, writing became more difficult for her. Her health worsened. She had suffered from acute arthritis for many years, and merely holding a pen became painful. Still, she wrote, her once elegant handwriting becoming more difficult to decipher, her letters becoming briefer and briefer, until, if I remember rightly, her last letter said very little other than, "You have found the pearl of great price." This sister of mercy, who taught me to pray when I was 5, and who had left Ireland when she was 17 years old to join the mission in England, continued to teach me as her strength deserted her. I honour Sister Bernadette now with love and gratitude as I remember her, and I am far more aware now than I was as a young man how lucky indeed I am that Jesus has called me to follow him. For how would I have known the purpose of my life if Jesus, through his holy church, and especially through the personal example of people like Sister Bernadette, had not revealed it to me? And how could I have ever experienced deep and lasting happiness if the Holy Spirit had not enlightened me to see that in the death and resurrection of Jesus, God the Father himself is revealing to me that his love for me is unconditional and eternal? And yet, is it not also the case, as Sister Bernadette so clearly foresaw, that I would at times fall into a kind of semi-indifference about all of this, when that which is extraordinary, my relationship with God, can seem unremarkable simply because it is part of my everyday existence? So, Jesus is speaking to me today in a particular way. The man sells everything to buy the field. The merchant similarly uses all his wealth to buy the single perfect pearl. Is my relationship with Jesus such that everything else is of secondary importance in comparison? And how is my devotion to Jesus manifested in the way I conduct my life, the way I spend my time, my money, the friendships I have? Do I, in my relationship with Jesus, experience the joy which so overwhelmed these two fictional characters when they had discovered something far less precious than it? These can be unsettling questions to ask. It's not unusual for people to conclude, well, I'm not sure that I have a relationship with Jesus. These same people may have been going to Mass for years. We can fall into a good habit of religious observance and then coast. There's a parallel here with what can happen in a marriage. Husbands and wives have shared with me that moments in their relationships have occurred when they have had to seize the initiative deliberately and go deeper, recommit to one another, because they found that they were slowly becoming estranged from each other through being used to each other. And is it not the case that all of us have friendships which did not survive the test of time? Might my friendship with Jesus be merely notional, not the fundamental ground of my being? What am I to do if I fear that my relationship with Jesus is deteriorating? Well, the first thing to do is not to panic. Jesus is gently inviting us today, all of us, starting with me, to appreciate afresh how privileged we are to be his disciples. And he is not just leaving us to do this alone. Rather, his Holy Spirit will guide us and encourage us and strengthen us. Solomon, in the story in our first reading, provides a model for us. He asked God for a spirit of discernment, and God granted that to him. God will help us in the same way. He will help us to see more clearly who we are, who Jesus is, and what we are to do as Jesus' disciples. The other day I was having a discussion with a few parishioners about what adult Catholics want in the church. We spend a lot of time trying to form our children, insufficient time offering grown-ups the opportunities to deepen their faith. One person said to me, striking clarity, "We want to know Jesus better." His words make me think. Our faith is actually extremely simple. I said, well, the key thing we have to ask ourselves is then, how have I encountered Jesus in my life? And as soon as I said it, I thought, oh no, I've got to answer this question myself if I'm expecting others to do so. And then, immediately, two vivid memories came back to me. The first was reading Bible stories as part of high school RE, and in particular St. Mark's Gospel for O-level. I came to know, through these lessons, Jesus as a person. I reflected on his words and deeds and realised that they had a continuing value, that they were providing me with a frame of reference for understanding who I am. The second memory was going to a big church in Monreale in Sicily on holiday with other seminarians. I stood beneath the central dome, which is completely covered by an enormous fresco of Christ, who was staring straight down at me and whose hand was raised in blessing. I felt enveloped in his gaze. I noticed there was a sadness in his eyes. His gaze challenged me. I became aware that nothing is more important than my relationship with him. And I discovered that he was expecting things of me, a lot of things, and I felt protected by him. Perhaps that was the moment, above all others, when the truthfulness of the two short parables, which Sister Bernadette so faithfully repeated to me year in and year out, came home to me. I looked at Jesus' right hand, raised in blessing and pierced by a nail, expressing simultaneously authority and love, but love first. I thought of Sister Bernadette's right hand when I was reflecting upon that scene earlier this week, which she used more than half a century ago now to teach me and my fellow pupils how to make the sign of the cross upon ourselves. At the end, she pushed herself to use this hand once again to write me, teaching me a final lesson, urging me to keep my eyes fixed on this same Jesus. She was sharing in his pain even as she wrote, whilst I, deciphering her scrawl, received the blessing which Jesus conferred on me through her.